Picture this: a bustling metropolis, the city that never sleeps, where dreams are made and fortunes are won. But beneath the glittering skyline and vibrant streets of New York City lurks a dark underbelly, home to some of the most chilling serial killers in American history. Today, we read diving deep into the twisted minds and gruesome crimes of six individuals who terrorized the Big Apple, leaving a trail of fear and devastation in their wake. Our first stop on this macabre journey takes us to the early 1990s, where Nathaniel White embarked on a killing spree that would shock the city to its core. Between 1991 and 1992, White claimed the lives of six women, his victims ranging from teenagers to adults. What made White's crimes particularly disturbing was his method. He would often lure his victims with the promise of drugs or alcohol, only to brutally stab them to death. One of his most chilling confessions came when he admitted to being inspired by a scene from the movie RoboCop 2, showcasing the dangerous influence media can have on unstable minds. But White wasn't the only predator stalking New York streets during this time. In 1991, a seemingly ordinary man named Herbert Weinstein committed a crime that would baffle investigators and psychologists alike. Weinstein, a 65-year-old advertising executive, strangled his wife and then, in a bizarre twist, threw her body out of their 12th-floor apartment window. What makes this case stand out is Weinstein's defense. His lawyers argued that a cyst in his brain had caused him to act out of character, raising intriguing questions about the nature of criminal responsibility and the human mind. As we delve deeper into New York's dark past, we encounter Richard Cottingham, known as the Torso Killer. Active in the 1970s, Cottingham's reign of terror spanned both New York and New Jersey. His nickname came from his gruesome habit of dismembering his victims, often leaving only their torsos behind. Cottingham is confirmed to have killed at least 11 people, but he claims his true victim count is over 100. His methods were brutal. He would torture, rape, and mutilate his victims, most of whom were young women he picked up in bars or on the streets. But perhaps one of the most prolific serial killers in New York's history is Joel Rifkin. Between 1989 and 1993, Rifkin murdered at least 17 women, most of whom were sex workers. His killing spree only came to an end when he was caught by chance. Police officers spotted him driving a pickup truck without license plates. When they tried to pull him over, Rifkin led them on a high-speed chase that ended with him crashing into a utility pole. In the back of his truck, officers made a grisly discovery: the decomposing body of his final victim. Rifkin's capture brought a sense of relief to the city, but it wasn't long before another killer emerged. Robert Schulman, a postal worker by day, embarked on his own series of murders between 1991 and 1996. Like Rifkin, Schulman targeted sex workers, killing at least 5 women. He would pick up his victims, bring them back to his home, and bludgeon them to death with hammers or baseball bats. Schulman's crimes were particularly brutal, and he often dismembered his victims' bodies before disposing of them in various locations around Long Island and Brooklyn. But perhaps the most chilling case of all is that of the Midtown Slasher, a killer who has never been identified. In the late 1970s, this unknown assailant targeted homeless men in Midtown Manhattan, slashing their throats as they slept on the streets. The slasher claimed at least 4 victims, but the true number may be higher. What makes this case particularly haunting is the fact that, decades later, the killer's identity remains a mystery, leaving the possibility that they may still be out there. These 6 cases represent just a fraction of the dark history that lurks beneath New York City's glittering facade. Each of these killers left an indelible mark on the city, their crimes serving as a grim reminder of the evil that can exist in the most unexpected places. But what drives someone to commit such heinous acts? Is it nature, nurture, or some twisted combination of both? In the case of Nathaniel White, we see the potential influence of media on an already disturbed mind. For Herbert Weinstein, the possibility of a physical brain abnormality raises questions about free will and criminal responsibility. Richard Cottingham's sadistic methods speak to a level of depravity that's hard for most of us to comprehend. His claims of over 100 victims, if true, would make him one of the most prolific serial killers in American history. Joel Rifkin and Robert Schulman, with their focus on sex workers as victims, highlight the vulnerability of marginalized communities and the ease with which predators can exploit society's blind spots. And then there's the Midtown slasher, whose anonymity adds an extra layer of terror to their crimes. The idea that a killer could strike repeatedly in one of the busiest areas of New York City and never be caught is a chilling reminder of how easy it can be for evil to hide in plain sight. These cases also shine a light on the evolution of forensic science and investigative techniques. Many of these killers were active before the widespread use of DNA evidence, and their eventual captures often relied on a combination of detective work, witness statements, and sometimes pure chance. But beyond the gruesome details and the investigative challenges, it's important to remember the human cost of these crimes. Each victim was someone's daughter, sister, friend, a person with hopes, dreams, and a life cut tragically short. Their stories serve as a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance, community support, and the ongoing need to protect society's most vulnerable members. As we reflect on these dark chapters in New York City's history, we're left with a mix of fascination and horror. These cases continue to captivate our attention, not just because of their shocking nature, but because they force us to confront uncomfortable truths about human nature and the society we live in. In the end, the story of New York's most evil serial killers is more than just a tale of crime and punishment. It's a complex tapestry of human psychology, social issues, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. As we close this chapter, we're left with a sobering reminder that even in the city that never sleeps, darkness can fall and monsters can walk among us. But we're also reminded of the resilience of the human spirit, the dedication of law enforcement, and the enduring hope that justice, however delayed, will ultimately prevail.